But what I was going to say is that it's another evening of F1 22, and the Formula 2 season continues. I am not sure if any other... I've not done any research or looked into this with any scientific measuring. I'm not sure any other F1 22 streamer is committing to F2, right? I'm doing it for maximum authenticity. Let's go through a Formula 2 season, build up the experience, and see what opportunities await us in Formula 1 when the F1 career starts. And it won't be that long to wait, because we've already had 4 rounds of the Formula 2 Championship. It's kind of short. There's only 7 rounds. Today is round 5. You can do the maths. There's not much left to go. You may or may not want to use a calculator for that, or hold up a smart flipping watch. So we are looking at a matter of weeks before the F1 career is going to start. It's very exciting. Stakes are kind of high. Especially after a couple of surprise... Well, I don't think Silverstone was as surprising. It had its own surprises, don't get me wrong. But after a couple of kind of successful weeks... yours truly, Skip, has gone from not really doing particularly well in the championship to was it 6th place now, I think, in the drivers, and the team is in 2nd. We'll have a look at the stats. But boy, oh boy, oh boy, surely first, apart from waiting for my my cup of lemon green tea to cool down, it's steaming. Yeah, before we do that, let's enjoy the fake economy of the item shop. Yes, I know. We can buy a symbol. Look at that. It's wibbly wobbly. Also, we do love our victory radio calls. Let's listen to this one.
Oh, is it over already?
Oh, is it over already? All right, mate. Are we done? Whoa! This is pretty much what this driver says about his sex life.
Oh, is it over already?
We just catch the tail end of him finishing there.
Oh, is it over already?
What a mess. Also, I can wear this marvelous outfit, and also have a glove. What else have we got here? We've got a UFO badge. That sucks. Actually, it looks more like a Lolo ball, to be honest. That's been flipped upside down. Here's a livery. I like collecting the liveries, to be honest. I could be a sucker for that. And of course, don't forget, in this game with its fake currency, where you have a fake F1 life and a fake apartment that you can decorate, you can buy pointless furniture. Pointless furniture. I know. So I got Bitcoin to spare. I like this. Fine, I'm having it. As I said, I like collecting the livery, so I'm going to buy that as well. That's 14,850 left.
Oh,
whoa!
is it over already?
Yeah, apparently it is. I'm not getting that. Are you kidding? Look, here's my fake apartment and my fake friends and all of my fake cars. Who does this help? No idea. Anyways, shall I quit my complaining? It's time to go to Italy. Round 5 of 7 in the F1 Championship. F2 Championship, beg pardon. And we are in practice. Let's take a look at how this weekend is going to shake down weather-wise. Well, surprisingly, for Italy, it's sunny and dry. We have a 45-minute practice session, as always, single lap qualifying, and then the sprint race and feature race. 11 and 15 laps, respectively. I guess we should get stuck in, shouldn't we? Especially, it won't be long. We're moving from F2 to F1. These evenings are going to get longer because there's more to do in an F1 race weekend. So yikes! There'll have to be less yakking and more drive-in. One thing I'm actually quite tempted to do. And I don't know whether I do it today or I do it in the next race weekend. But in fact, I will drop this in myself. Exclamation mark F1 is the settings used in the game. I started out the F2 season at 55% AI. I'm thinking about moving that up to 65. Whether I do that today or whether I do that at the next race weekend, I'm not sure about. I feel like Azerbaijan was challenging, but kind of pleasantly surprising in terms of performance. Silverstone, I'm not going to say was easy, but I'm very familiar with the circuit, so that helped a lot. Maybe this is how we deal with it. Third time is a charm. I'm going to make a decision at the end of today's stream about that AI setting. So I think by the time I got to the end of the F1 career 2 years ago in F1 2020, I was at maybe 75, maybe 85%. I don't want to be too far off that. I want to kind of increase that challenge. So yeah, let's take this as our kind of final readings of whether I feel like it's a little too easy, and we'll deal with that AI in good turn. Anyways, another thing for me to think about. More balls in the air, everyone. Let's move on to our first session of the evening, which is practice. Now, here we go. Last week I got confused and thought this was Imola because I couldn't quite make out the picture. It doesn't tell you as the preview; it just shows you a picture. Do I get to 17? There it is. I've won a glove.
Quick look at the classification at the end of the session then. Here are your top three.
Gip, Vips, and Jan Daruvalo.
Thank you for joining us for free practice today. We'll be back with
again.
more Formula 2 action very shortly.
If I'm lucky enough to be on the front row, I seem to be called Skip. Correctly called Skip. Everywhere else, Gip. Come on, man. Where's the respect? So it doesn't look like there were any last-minute shockers in practice. Gip. Fastest out there, baby. And Djokovic is 4th fastest. When it comes to a team working together, Uni Virtuosi's looking pretty good. High Tech, though, not too bad, with a 2nd and a 6th in practice. I don't see another team quite as good as that. Carlin, I guess. Druval 3rd and 11th. But otherwise, it's a bit of a mixed bag. Actually, there we go. Art's Grand Prix. Porsche in 7th and Lundgaard in 10th. And what are we looking at there? About a 10th and a half between them. If they can keep that going throughout the rest of the weekend, they could have a nice one. But of course, the hope is that your boy Skip and his fantastic team can deliver the goods at Monza. I think again, like, muscle memory is there, but if it's anything like previous race weekends, it takes until a decent fist of the sprint race before I'm like, okay, now I've got it. Now I'm settled. So yeah, there's gonna be a little way to go yet, I think, before I feel properly settled in. However, we now move on to qualifying. Single lap. Go great guns. Fingers crossed it can be done. Not much to confirm here apart from, yes, I would like to go to the next session. What other option do I have, really? What can I actually do once I'm in the midst of it? See, I could change the... I don't think it's right to do it in the middle of a weekend, but there we go. Look, that's definitely going up to 65 at the end of all of this. We're on the higher end of medium difficulty, so we'll be on the lower end of hard as we move into 65. Okay, here we go then. Qualifying coming up next. There I am. What am I up to? Oh, I'm just looking around. Soft tyres! Yes! Car setup still on maximum top speed. Seem to work for me. I tend not to disagree too much with the setups in F2. I can spend a little bit more time testing things out in F1. A brand spanking new set of softs, only one lap to do on them, so this shouldn't be too tough, really. Now, here's something. I've forgotten to do this for the last couple of weekends. So, let's get a prediction on. Let's see. Where will I qualify? I think before I've done like top 10 or below that. Given how things were in that practice session, that wouldn't be right. So I'm going to give you 3 options. Yeah, okay. Four different options. Two minutes. Now I have to fill time for 2 minutes, by the way. Uh-oh. Oh, no me. Where will I qualify? Here are your options. Front row. Ah, I've put 2, you idiot. That's supposed to be 3. I'm deleting it immediately. I gotta type that again. Oh my god. Right. Front row. 3 to 8. Not 2. Jeez. 9 to 16. 17 to 22. Alright, 2 minutes again. Now I've got more time to fill. Flipping it. I'm proofreading it live. Okay. Prediction is there. And I'll put an extra announce in chat. Where will I qualify? Front row, so P1, P2. Pole position or second. Will I qualify between P3 and P8? So a solid top 8. That'll deliver points in both the sprint and feature race. 9 to 16. Or will I have an absolute howler? I'll end up near the back of the grid. 17th to 22nd. I don't think I'll get front row here. I think something sneaky's going to happen. Here's also something else I need to commit to. It's been quite tempting, quite simple. Easy as that, as me, as this. Lap, otherwise I just need to commit. Need to get into that habit because I'm gonna really want to make that count, especially when it comes to F1. Almost done now. Less than 5 seconds left on the prediction, and we've got one vote. One gambler here, and with some faith, they believe I will qualify on the front row, so either first or second. So no pressure. Okay, well with that prediction dealt with and all the mistakes erased from history, let's go. All push. Soft tyres. Let's go. Ran wide. So now I really have to push to make that back. This is a bad lap. Messed up on Curva Grande. I rode that grass. That was bad stuff. That dropped me from being super fast down to slowest.
So qualifying is complete and we're all set for an exciting race tomorrow. Your top three are
Tictum, Aitken, and Teo Porcher.
with qualifying complete, all that remains is the main event. We'll be live and uninterrupted for the feature race tomorrow, so make sure you join us then.
Yeah. That's how I'll sum that up. Not a super focused opening sector to the qualifying lap. I wasn't particularly pleased with turn 2, and that just threw me off. And as I was going through Curva Grande, it was a case of, left-hand side of the car is out on the grass, and the instinct there was like, flashback, do it again. But no, I had to stick to it, and I couldn't make a quick correction either, because I'd have lost even more time, probably lost the rears. So I just had to kind of gently ride through it and come back onto the racing line. So I went from fastest to 22nd fastest, and then the rest of that lap was just trying to claw back as much time as I could. It's a 1:33.9. There are, what are we looking at here? 3 other drivers within 1:33.9s. I'm on a 10th off Lawson, who was 6th. Missed out on 4 points there. Dan Tictum, who's actually not had a lot of luck with reliability in this season, qualifies on pole, takes 4 points. I missed out 4 points, just like that. And is joined on the front row by Jack Aitken. Now, for the sprint race, positions will be reversed. So that's going to put me 3rd. So a good opportunity for a podium finish and some decent points in the sprint race. However, it's going to be a pretty rough and ready feature race to get back up to the podium. Now, it happened in Baku. It could happen here, but I mean that could is carrying a lot of weight, is it not? Where will I qualify then? Some bad news for our one gambler, Gilly Fam. That was all on me, I'm afraid. Did not do that deliberately. I qualify in 8th, so that's between positions 3 and 8. Front row was just not on this time round, I'm afraid. So Gilly Fam tentatively put down 500 engagements. They have gone back into the big fat engagement vault in the sky until they rain down again. While you watch, I guess. Let's just have a look at those standings. Where was I? 5th. There we are, 5th. 5th in the standings with 62. Tictum has now leapt ahead of my teammate Drogovic with those 4 points. Where did Drugovic qualify, by the way? So I did a 133.9. Where's Drugovic? Oh no, Felipe. Oh no. A 134.4. What are you doing all the way back there? Uh-oh. Oh well. Plenty of opportunity now to pull it all back in the 2 races coming up. Let's move on from this. This PS4 sounds like it's about to take off. Okay, sprint race, 11 laps. Reverse grid, so that 8th becomes a 3rd. Which caught me by surprise in Baku. It won't here. I'm expecting it. Yeah, I can only hope I have a solid start and a good race, and bag some well-needed points. Let's get stuck in and find out. Uh-oh, cloudy.
Hello and welcome back to a classic circuit, familiar to fans the world over. This is Monza.
Sparta.
You can hear the cars ready to go. Certainly the fans are ready for some action. We're all set. So let's get this Formula 2 race underway. Monza is one of the faster circuits in Formula 2, comprising some very long straights and tight chicanes. The engine spends so long at full throttle, in fact, that engine failures are not an uncommon sight here.
Uh-oh.
On top of that, the 3.6 miles of track are pretty hard on the gearbox too. Turn 1 at Monza is famous, or should I say infamous, for serious contact and incidents, especially on the opening lap. What are your thoughts on that, Davide?
Yes, this chicane is a tricky one. A lot of time you see the more experienced drivers hold back from full throttle to keep themselves safe as everyone tries to squeeze into the racing line after the opening straight.
Okay, now that we've got some good points on the board, let's continue this form and aim for another top 10 finish.
Let's hope so, eh? Let's hope so. First of all, let's take a look at race strategy. Yeah. I don't think I'll be doing a pit stop during the sprint, thank you. Even though I've got soft tyres to spare, it looks like we'll be running on a medium for the entire length of the race. It is the faster strategy, obviously, because you lose time going into the pits. We have projected and personalised here as well. Projected is based on data gathered by the team's engineers. Personalised is from my race practice program. In practice, that was well formed of a series of words that they call a sentence. It'd be interesting to compare and contrast. Not much in it. In fact, 0.2. Slightly better tyre life though. No real shift in lap times, slightly better tyre life, which is nice, isn't it? Yes. And we have that overcast start, but the sun will start to break through the clouds a little bit later on, which will help heat up the track. This may actually be doing our tyres a bit of a favour in the opening phase as well, right? Nice. Locked in. Let's get our next prediction on the way. So this is for the sprint race. I think it's only the top 8, isn't it? In the sprint. That get the points, and then top 10 in the feature race. I think that's it. I'm putting my neck out on this. As you can tell, I race F2 in the games. I'm not doing a very good job of following it in the real life. Where will I finish? Here comes another prediction then. I should probably get a button on my Stream Deck to announce them. Gamble time, everybody. Will it be a podium finish up in the top 3? Will it be anywhere between P4 and P8? Or will I finish P9 or below, which I believe is out of the points in a sprint race? The important thing here, I think, is not to lose any positions. And that's easier said than done. But here I am in the top 3. Staying in the top 3 would be absolutely great. I think it would be bad news to fall back, even 1 position, because obviously that's not a podium finish. I shouldn't be gunning recklessly to get myself up to the front of the pack, but I should be looking for opportunities. The important thing is just to have a good solid race and at least secure a top 3 position, I think. Less than 30 seconds left. We've got 40% of the wager on the top 3, 60% of the wager on positions 4 to 8. Let's start the formation lap.
Okay, so everything looks good on the power unit cycles, so let's concentrate on bringing tyres and brakes up to temperature.
Bit of a wonky pull away there from the grid. Let's get our multifunction display up and make sure.
Conditions look stable at the moment. No rain currently expected.
Brakes are getting a little cold. That's looking a little better. A little bit of weaving. This is the voodoo that you do to keep the heat in the tyres. See those brakes really cooling off here. That sun is low, is it not? Okay, this is the bit that I'm still struggling with, which is parking in my grid slot. Oh, okay, just behind.
Placement there, mate. Let's try and get a good look.
All right, mate. Okay, mate.
Keep an eye on the lights. The start sequence will be...
All right, here we go then. 11 laps. Sprint race. And away we go. Felt like a good start. Nissany had a slow one. Very slow, in fact. Zendeli's taken the inside. Can't really argue with that. Give him space, hold the inside. That could have almost been first place. Second is fine. Got him on the brakes. We are leading. Let's hold our nerve here. One big disadvantage is from lap 3, I will not benefit from being within a second of a car in front. So there will not be DRS for me, there could be for the cars behind. Also need to keep an eye on tyre life. And I want to have a gap, but not a massive gap to the cars behind, right? Because that's showing me that I'm pushing too hard. So I should be thinking about lifting and coasting in maybe 3 or 4 laps time. Maybe pushing now, just to extend the gap. 1.3 currently. So Nissany's, that was rough. That was rough. Nissany's very slow start gifted at least one position. Then it was just a straight out dogfight with Zandeli. 1.5, 1.6 now to P2. Two seconds. It's a good opportunity to just find my rhythm and not feel any pressure. Looks like another fastest lap coming up. Yep, 1:34.5.
Keep this up, well done.
.2 now, really increasing this gap. Need to watch out for those rear tyres though. Try and take it a little bit easier here and just see how much of a difference that makes. 2.7, so I've dropped back a little. 2.5. Not much I can do on the straights, right? Okay, yeah, starting to drop back, so that does make a difference. Let's not get carried away with the lifting and coasting at this stage then. Lap 4 of 11. Get an update in a moment. That was late on the brakes. Let's navigate my way through here. Full race update.
You're leading the pack, that's P1. That's Zendelli behind. Okay, the gap behind is 2.4 seconds. They're on old mediums. Look after these tyres now. You want to finish the race on this compound.
You betcha.
And that's 8 laps to go.
Teammate status.
Gap to your teammate behind is 14.0 seconds. They're on old mediums. They're currently 21st. Your last lap time was a 1 minute 37.6.
That was a lot slow, wasn't it? At 137.
Okay, the incident's been cleared. Let's get back up to racing speed. Come on.
I was ahead of it the whole time, mate. 135.1. Okay.
Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 14.8 seconds.
So a better mix of backing off just a touch. I'm not getting carried away with it. It's sloppy there, I think. Cool. Almost 4 seconds to Zendelli now.
Yellow flag.
That must have been where Christian Lundgaard retired, I guess. Just a little lift as I went through that section. Don't want to get in trouble after the fact. Weather information.
Okay, there's enough fuel to do 6 more laps.
Weather report.
No rain expected. No rain expected for the time being.
Seems to be more interested in the second word and not the first. I think weather would be more important than report or information, but you'd be wrong. Guess it's the combo of the two. Watch out for those rears. So 4.6. Who am I racing? Oh, we'll never know. I guess no one. Purple sector 2 there, so I was doing something right. Just have to make polite chit chat with my engineer. There's not much else going on at the moment. Let's have a look at the fuel. Plus 0.78 laps. So I'm doing alright. Got lock curb there. No contact opening lap as well. It was nice and clean. 5 seconds to Zandelli now. Hello. Yay! Whoa! Keeping it interesting for the fans there. Give them an element of not an elephant, maybe both. An element of danger. Starting now to just lose the best of the rear tyres. Finding steering isn't quite so on rails. Which means this left turn is something I'll have to watch quite carefully before I squeeze down to full throttle. Full race update.
You're in first position, front of the pack. Zandelli is behind you. Our gap behind is 5.4 seconds. They're on old mediums. Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now. 4 laps remaining.
Okie dokie. So it's at this point, paying close attention to the feedback that comes through the controller is going to be pretty key. Especially...
Okay, be careful. We think you're going to start losing some tyre grip anytime now.
Especially the rumbling, you know, going through corners. You need to pay attention to that rumbling, because that's giving you an indication of where the tyre wear is happening. Some of these very marginal turns at speed, you get nothing. But you come through a turn like this, and you know, the slightest changes on input, you start getting a little vibration. The more violent that becomes, the more you know that you're taking out of the tyres. So reducing that to like a tiny little shudder, or even no vibration at all, is your best indication that you are taking the least life out of the compound, which at this stage in the race is pretty important. Because if you were pushing as hard on these tyres as you were earlier, that's where you're going to get a whole bunch of wheel spin. Before you know it, you're going to be facing a barrier. And then the ire of your engineers and team boss. Bad news all round. That's a big one for vibration. See what I mean? There we go. All right. Need to treat this with some respect. A little wide there, otherwise good. The laps will start slowing now because we're not using the tyres quite as much to help us with our speed. But everyone's having the same problem. So as long as this gap is maintained, things are very healthy. This and one more lap. slightly clunky turn 2 there. I was a bit too heavy on the brakes. Fuel efficiency is good actually, 0.84. That lifting has obviously helped out pretty nicely. There we are. There hasn't seemed to be much happening. We've had, what, 2 retirements, I think? And it looks like there's maybe been a position change. Tictum has managed to get up to 5th. I don't think he was there earlier. Oh, Porsche has just overtaken Nissany. Aha. I don't think Porsche is really going to be threatening on Zendelli, but wonder if Tictum is able to do anything.
Final lap of the race. Okay, so the gap to the car behind is 2.1 seconds.
Let's have a nice clean final lap. Able to see Zendelli in my mirrors for the first time since maybe lap 2. So some of that lifting and coasting has allowed that gap to close, but it's still a non-threatening gap at almost 3 seconds currently. I think we were at 2.4 at the start of this final lap. Survived that, not much left to do. Started the sprint in 3rd. Poor start for Nissany meant that he was overtaken comfortably before turn 1, and Nissany was caught up later on in that same lap. So the winner's mine.
Anyone want to go again?
Absolutely fantastic. That is a brilliant, brilliant result. Well done.
Hooray! I'm not driver of the day though. That's a shame.
So another fantastic victory for Virtuoso.
Sort your hair out, love.
Tell me, Davide, what was the key to this success?
This race, this win, was about one thing and one thing only: consistency. Anyone can be quick for just 1 lap, but there's a difference between that and being quick every lap, over and over and over. If you can do that, if you can gain ground when your opponents make mistakes, but then not make mistakes on your own, you can just push and push.
Yeah, you keep saying that.
Another race and another.
Yeah, let's hear it, baby.
The drivers make their way out to the podium for the final ceremony. Superb racing out there today, and a well-deserved win.
Was she baked? Do I get to win a nothing? I do. Great victory! A nothing has been acquired.
So then, it's time to see how this result affects the Drivers' Championship.
Skip takes over the lead of the Drivers' Championship.
Now then, Davide Valsecchi, who would you say was your driver of the day?
Lots of drivers impressed me today,
Yes!
But if I have to say one that impressed me most, it's Enzo Fittipaldi.
And here's how things are shaping
More
up.
intensity, Mr. Harris.
It was a tough race for our championship leaders, who lose ground at the top of the table.
Ho
Another
ho.
team who excelled today was Dams, who make further progress up the table. After all this drama, you'll be mad not to
Bonkers.
join us for the next race.
Mental.
We hope to see you then. Take care.
A fruitcake. Hello. From third on the grid, Skip wins the sprint race and also takes fastest lap. Extra points. Oh yes. So 17 points from the sprint race. Feature race will be different, starting from 8th. It's going to be harder to get near that podium. But it could be another good points finish, and maybe that's the point. Lirim Zendelli, quiet day for him. Started second, finished second. Theo Pourchaire in the art started in 8th and managed to get up to 3rd. A highly successful weekend potentially coming his way, considering that means if he started in 8th, he qualified 3rd. So in the feature race, he's going to have an excellent position to make up from. Nissany, I mean, did well for the Dams team. From 1st down to 4th, though, not a great day. Dan Ticktum did not retire for once, from 10th up to 5th. Liam Lawson, not much change there, from 5th down to 6th. Aitken climbed up a couple of places. Daruvula made a good jump. Where the heck is my teammate? Definitely not in the points. And a race to forget. Managed to make one position. Although that may well have been because of cars retiring. 2 cars retiring, only 1 position made as well, right? So I lost out to someone at some point. Okay. That is our sprint race done. Apparently, according to commentary, I'm leading the championship. I'm not going to let myself get carried away with that because we do have one more race to come up. But for now, let's take a look at the highlights. So, Nissany, slow start. Just bogs down a little bit. Both myself and Zendelli do pretty well here. And to be honest, I thought I had a reasonable shot at taking first place in this chicane. A little bit messy, I think, on exit. Put myself behind there. Try not to collect my front wing. And then it's done on braking. Squeeze on the inside. And the job's already done. Lovely slow-mo there. There's a battle between Marcus Armstrong and Nissany behind. And you know, well, what else can you do? What else can you do when that was really the only thing that happened in my race was the start? And then it was holding everything together and just solidifying the winning position, which was done. A quick peek at the race director just to see if anybody got their knuckles wrapped. Under incidents, just 2 mechanical failures. Everybody kept their nose clean today. Congratulations, teams. Good work. Also no pit stops, which is quite sensible. Why would you do that? Sprint race done, in the bag. Things seem to be going well. Can the same be said for 15 laps of the feature race. Starting from 8th, right? So it will be a different kind of race. It's not being at the front, managing the pace, making sure no one can close that gap to you. It's going to have to be more aggressive. I'm going to have to look for opportunities if I want to improve from my starting position of 8th, which would net me some points, yes, just not very much. Let's go.
Welcome, everybody, to the heart of Italian motor racing, Monza. We're here with Formula 2 for what ought to be an extravaganza of excitement and action. Let's head to the start line and get underway.
Let's do it. A little bit warmer.
Monza is situated 12 miles northeast of Milan. It's 3.6 miles long and offers 11 corners. 7 of those are chicanes, putting a premium on good braking stability and traction. With a good slipstream plus the other 2 DRS zones available, there should be a good number of passing opportunities on offer. Let's take a look at the
Skip
grid
watch
positions for today's race.
Get ready.
A fantastic effort from Daniel Ticktum yesterday puts him on pole position. And it's Jack Aitken alongside.
Yes, man.
Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Pourchaire, Verschoor, Ralph Boschung, and Lawson.
Here we go.
Strong, Gip, Zendelli, Roy Nissani, Schwartzman, Lundgaard, Jan Daruvala, and Samaya. Vips, Sato, Piastri, and Alessio Deleda. Viscal, Drugovic, Beckman, and Enzo Fittipaldi completes the grid. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down.
Let's go. Davide, are you going to say the same thing?
Famous, or should I say infamous, for serious contact and incidents, especially on the opening lap. What are your thoughts on that, Davide?
Yes, this chicane is a tricky one. A lot of time you see the more experienced drivers hold back from full throttle to keep themselves safe as everyone tries to squeeze into the racing line after the opening straight.
Still watching Netflix.
We're still in with a chance to win the Constructors' title, so let's make this happen in the last 3 races.
Let's make it happen, baby. Did you see the on-screen graphic just then? I'm leading the Drivers' Championship by 1 point. 79 points. And there's a possibility that the constructors, the team standings could be particularly solid as well, with a sniff of a trophy. So no pressure. So back in 8th position then, my original qualifying position. This is where I sit for the feature race. The cars that I was battling in the sprint race are sort of near me and behind me. No doubt it's going to be tougher to deal with the ones up ahead. I'll tell you this, it's certainly going to be a way more difficult opening chicane. Even if I can find a reasonable line through turn 1, I then have to deal with turn 2 and fight my way through that. The worst thing that could happen, I think, would be to find myself alongside 2 other cars. 3 abreast going through that chicane is a recipe for disaster. Someone will get a dink and a donk. Race strategy then. Let's see what we've got lined up for this one. So, again, because of our work in practice, we have both a projected and personalized strategy to examine. And, of course, there is the default and alternate. Same situation where an alternate strategy is basically allowing you to take an extra pit stop. So fresher tyres, but you lose a good 25, 30 seconds by taking that stop. Quite famously, and maybe you'll remember this, I decided, I think in a sprint race, to deviate from a 0 stop to a 1 stop, thinking, what's the worst that can happen? I'm right at the back of the grid, I might as well take a shot. But in those opening laps, I made up a position or two, and then because I had to pit, I'd chosen to do that, those positions were lost. And that's the kind of risk that you have here, especially if you're not guaranteeing any way of clawing it back. So the temptation is to stick with the default strategy, largely because the drivers around me are going to be sticking to a one-stopper as well. I think this would probably be hanging in the balance a little bit more if the race distance were longer. So at the moment we're doing 50%, and if you doubled that, then you could consider what you could do with an extra set of tyres. Running out there on the softs and then having to come back in and go back out. There are certain things you can simulate and certain things you can't, and I think one of them is just the fact that, you know, if you're taking a couple of pit stops in such a short space of time, you might be tweaking the game's code to make sure the fuel usage and the tyre wear and stuff kind of marks out with a 50% race distance. But that time that you lose on track is the time that you lose on track. Those cars aren't travelling any faster or slower because you've decided to reduce the length of the race. So an extra pit stop at 50% versus 100% does make a giant difference. That's enough waffling on that front. Let's see what makes any impact, if at all, by swapping out projected to personalized. So at the moment we have 6 laps on the softs and 9 on the mediums. Let's swap that out, and we're stopping a lap later. Look at that. We save half a second as well. So stopping 1 lap later, making those softs last a little bit longer, which means we can push harder on the medium tyre. Now, there's every possibility as well here that I could decide to go 1 lap longer, right? So if I burn into my mind that I'm stopping on 7, but I have the option to stop on 8, that would be worth considering. The risk is, of course, I have to be mindful of what the cars around me are doing, because the other option is that you think, I'm going to stick this out 1 more lap, and then the drivers that you're racing kind of pull a different strategy, and you've got no chance of kind of catching up with them again. So I still have to be tuned with what's going on around me. I will stick with personalized strategy, however. I think that is the way to go. Speaking of ways to go, we've got prediction stuff to do. So I haven't paid out on the sprint race yet. So let's do that now. It was a win in the sprint race, so a top 3 finish. That is now paid out. So who went in on top 3? That was Gilly Fam. Jury went in on positions 4 to 8. So congratulations to Gilly Fam. You win all of Jury's engagements. Let's get our next prediction done, and I think I will follow the same model I did for the feature race last time. So another 2 minutes coming up. Where will I finish this time round? Now, this is starting from 8th, don't forget. Okay, so are we looking at a miracle and I end up on the podium? Do I end up in a points-paying position, somewhere between 4th and 10th? Or will I finish out of the points? You have a little over 1 minute to get that gamble down. If, for some reason, the time runs out and no one's gambled, maybe I'll give you another chance. If I feel generous. But, of course, you know what happens at this point, right? We're leading up to the feature race, the main race, and the call of nature must be answered. I'm going to go and take that little short break. I'll be away for a couple of minutes or so, and I'll be right back for the big one. That camera angle was definitely made for while I was sitting, wasn't it? All the way back here, and when there wasn't. Anyway, hello. Well, what was that? So, thanks for waiting. Guess what? One gambler. Just one. But that's okay. One is all you need. Churi, thank you. I have to say that is a huge vote of confidence. Not only has Churi gone in with a top 3 gamble, but the stake is 5,000 engagements. That's a big number. Big number. Gotta say, it feels like a tall order, but not impossible to get to the top 3 from here. It's going to require a clean and tidy opening lap, some good time management, a keen eye on what the cars around are doing in terms of their pit stop strategy, in order to find a way to come out of that pit stop on nice fresh tyres and maybe get the jump on a driver or two. It's time to get myself into race position as the chair squeaks and squeals as I fidget and make sure I don't sit on myself. That happens as you get older, by the way. Especially on hot days. We have 15 laps and a formation lap, by the way, coming up. I stand for a full house. Let's go.
Launch map is good.
Thank you.
To learn the gears, so go into each one when you can. We're going to need some work on the brakes, so put some energy into them and warm the tyres as well, please.
Okie dokie, formation lap, here we go. Through a few of the gears. Can I get up to 5th? I can. Not sure I'll be able to get up to 6th, mind you. We shall see. Going at these slower speeds here, like through some of these turns, you could just lift. But you want to punch on those brakes just a little bit.
No threat of rain for the time being. Conditions look good.
Just to keep the heat in them. Especially after a long straight. Can I get up to 6th gear? No. Chance would be a fine thing. Yeah, after a long straight, those brakes can get cold. Especially when you're doing kind of formation lap speeds. Okay, yeah, parking. That thing.
That's not an ideal placement in your grid slot. You're going to need a
Again.
good launch at the race starts.
Let's have a good lunch.
Okay, so that's the rest of the grid forming up now.
All right, fingers crossed, everybody. 15 laps is about to get underway. Quite a long wait there. Slow start for Lawson. Taking the inside here, which means I'll need to take the outside onto... That's up 2 places. 6. Something's gone on behind. Let's not worry about that too much. Focus on the race ahead. So watch out for drivers behind, right? I need to be racy. Hello. Hey, don't forget the thing with the rear wheels, yeah? That's important. Tyres might not fully be up to temperature yet. See, I'm battling with Armstrong. Ooh. Okay. Got a good run here. Rushing defending. And I got past him. Up to 5th. That was mind games, getting that done.
Okay, the start was fine. Let's try and move forward.
Okay, good stuff. They're packed up in front. They seem to be quite close together. Swapping positions right now. Do my best to close that gap.
Good job, nice overtake.
Quite greedy on the brakes there, but made it work. Up to 4th now. From lap 3, DRS becomes active. Could open up a flap on the rear wing and get a little bit of extra speed. I stayed close to Porsche. Had to just ease off. Better. Okay, here we go. Lap 3 about to start. Fastest lap.
Okay, you're creating some breathing space between you and the car behind by a few seconds a lap. Really good stuff.
Porsche will take the inside. Late on the brakes. Well played. Still a close gap. Want to stay behind him until the next DRS zone. Oh, slow out of there. Almost collected him. Right, here we go. This is it. DRS zone coming up now. Rear wing open. Will he go defensive? Need to make this stick. Had to get a little late on the brakes.
P3.
Cracking move. Okay, it's top 3. Got a pit stop to come on lap 7. Some scrapping going on behind, that's fine. Don't mind them battling out behind, especially if it takes a while, because they'll slow each other down. Deep into first corner of that chicane. Oh, hello, that's quite wide. Let's have another go. Okay, would like to close the gap to the cars ahead. Let's get a full race update.
Say that again, we're having trouble receiving you.
Oh, mate. Full race update.
P3, you're currently in P3. They're short, just ahead. Come on, push. Our gap to the car in front is 2.1 seconds. Okay, they're on old softs. Tictum's behind you. And the gap behind us is 2.3 seconds. Okay, they're on old softs.
Okay.
Our gap to first place is 2.4 seconds.
Okay.
We're approaching the pit window and you're going to be on mediums.
Okay, so Verschoor and Aitken starting to battle each other. Closing the gap now to Verschoor within a second. Lap 5 of 15. So there may be some cars thinking about pitting on 6. The plan for me is to pit on 7. May extend it to 8 if I feel like I can benefit from it. DRS. Probably not enough to get the overtake done, but can close the gap. Verschoor, of course, has DRS in front as well. 7/10 off. Tictum now 4 seconds behind. Oh, we've had a retirement.
Let's go.
I'm assuming, unless there was just a general incident. Much closer now to Verschoor. Look at that, 3/10. Here comes DRS. What can be done? His will cancel out mine more or less. Bit of contact. No damage to the wing. We've had a retirement. Okay.
Okay, no issues with tyre wear for now. Keep taking care.
I may extend to 8. And that's second place. Good spot for overtaking there. Get DRS on Aitken. Here we go. He doesn't have it. Verschoor is 1.5 behind. He's completely dropped off.
Caution, caution. Okay, be aware there's an incident in the next part of the track. No overtaking through the yellow flags.
So a car's being recovered there. Let's see what Aitken does. This is lap 6 going to 7. Does he pit? He pits. This is a great opportunity to push. I feel like pitting on 8.
Box, box, we're coming in this lap.
And I got DRS from him as well, so nice little bit of overspeed. I feel like pitting on 8. Getting a push lap or 2. Tyres feel alright. What was I saying? Gotta be careful there. Oh, that was a mess. Somehow I made it worse. Just gotta get through here. Alright. Maybe 8 actually feels a bit too hopeful after those couple of corners there. I've lost a lot of time to Pourchaire. Beckman is out. Beckman! No, I have to pit. That was not a good lap. So I'm coming in this lap to change onto a set of fresh mediums. Let's hope the strategy pays off. Quick time event, let's go. Nice. Getting the hang of that.
Okay, Felipe.
Teammate is also in.
Felipe in.
No, I'm being held back. I'm being held back.
Delighted with that.
That's taken a good couple of seconds out of my time in the pit lane there, because there were so many cars pitting on the same lap as me. It seems like quite a few of them.
Up to speed now. Let's get some heat into those tires.
Right, there goes Aitken.
Yellow flag.
Not sure what the yellow flag was for. A real big scrap with Verschoor there. That's not going to be over. Need a couple of laps of pushing here. increase that gap behind. .1 seconds to Aitken. First sure has dropped back a bit. 1.1 now. It was about 0.6.7. Let's chase down Aitken. Fastest Sector 2 so far. Lap 8 of 15. Slowly closing the gap to Aitken.
Gap to your team
He's my target.
is 16.9 seconds.
Full race update.
Second place, you're in second place. Aitken ahead. Okay, gap ahead is 1.9 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. Verschure behind. Okay, the gap behind is 1.5 seconds.
Okay.
They're on fresh mediums. Look after these tyres now. We want to finish the race on this compound. Okay, 7 laps to go.
Let's do it. Bit bibbly bobbly on the curbs there. That's a technical term. It's fine. Little bit keen to pull back some time after a slightly clunky chicane. Let's have another go. No sudden inputs on the steering. It kills me every time. That's way cleaner. Come on, let's try and keep this clean now for the rest of this race. Let's chase down Aitken. Try and get the win on merit. .6 now. Driver in front.
Aitken just ahead. Push for the position. And gap to the car in front is 1.5 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. Their tyres are 2 laps old. Time last lap was a 1:35.7.
And we're within a second. No DRS that time. So the detection zone, obviously I was still outside. Fastest lap. Let's start putting the pressure on. We want to see a lock-up, a bit of nervousness, some defending. Increasing the gap to the car behind, so it's all about focusing on Aitken. Should get DRS now. Here it is. Don't think about the pass yet, just close the gap. There's plenty of time to catch up and really make him nervous. Under half a second to him, so this is good. Starting to pull away. Getting that slipstream. There's DRS again.
You're increasing the gap on the car behind by 0.5 a lap.
Little bit of slipping around on the exit of 2. I got close to Aitken there. I didn't want to damage my front wing. And then I didn't know where to put myself. This will be a good battle. This will be a good battle. Plenty of time to get it done. Alright, half a second to Aitken. It feels like I'm closer this time. Don't want to lose too much time to him. So I need to be careful how much speed I scrub off through chicanes. Taking a lot out of the tyres there. A lot of vibration through the controller. How's fuel? Fuel's good. DRS feels closer. Enough for a lunge. Aitken's going defensive. I'm gonna stick with that. I didn't know where to put myself. He didn't go hard on defensive, but he was in the middle of the road and slowing a little bit earlier than I was expecting. So I didn't really know where to put myself. Now I have to push even harder to close that gap again. Outside of DRS now as well, so this is on raw pace. That may have been my best opportunity to take the win. Starting to get pressure from Verschoor after that mistake. Okay. Don't think I'm getting DRS here. But I am closer to Aitken. I don't have to worry about picking a weird line. I just take the usual line. A little bit of concertina effect, of course, comes into play, but I have closed the gap. This lap and 2 more to get this job done. Stay behind. DRS is coming up. Here we go. Massive overspeed. Try and pull him to the left. He's gone defensive. He's causing me to... Oh, and a big bump. I'm taking that one though. No immediate warning.
Nice work, mate. That brings you
from the stewards. I held my own on the inside there. That position was lost and fought back and then won. Aitken's still close. Fighting with Verschoor behind though. And Verschoor's just taken Aitken. Will Aitken take it back? Tictum and Pourchaire are also battling, so it's all happening behind. Driver behind.
I didn't catch that, mate. Just say it again.
Ugh. Driver behind.
Verschoor is behind you now. Our gap behind is 1.5 seconds. They're on old mediums. Okay, their tyres are 7 laps old. And the time last lap was a 1 minute 35.8.
Let's not make any silly mistakes now. Keep it clean. No need for flashbacks. Let's do this properly. First short is closing. Maybe within DRS. When we get to the start-finish straight. I've extended the gap a bit, 1.3, so hopefully don't have that to worry about. The final lap is coming up.
Okay, this is your final lap of the race.
Lovely. That went nicely. Just keep it clean now. Oh, big mess there. Still enough of a gap behind, 1.4, 1.5, so there's no DRS threat from Vershaw at this point. Beautiful sequence. That played out nicely. Well, I really wasn't sure whether a top 3 would be on, but within a matter of laps, I found myself in the top 3. Somehow after the pits, I managed to chase down first
Anyone want to go again?
and get it.
Yes, fantastic! You just won the Grand Prix!
Brilliant stuff from Virtuosi today. That's another historic win.
And I have to wonder, Davide Valsecchi, just what set them apart from the competition here.
I think they kept a cool head. That's why they won today. Smooth, steady, everything bad that happened to them, they handle it calmly and professionally. That's what let them focus on getting the best out of everything else. The car, the strategy, they managed to keep out of trouble the whole way around.
And here are podium drivers.
Yay!
After that excellent race. They've excelled here as they so often do, and it's a well-deserved victory. Virtuosi then are on top today.
That's a good feeling, huh? Disappearing, reappearing hair on my character model. That's quite curious. Do I have enough to win a free hat? Free hat. It's all coming up, Millhouse.
After this round of the World Championship, here's how things look in the drivers' table.
Skip increases their championship lead.
And so, driver of the day then, Davide Valsecchi, who do you think you'd go for?
I'll probably go for Enzo Fittipaldi. The team did a good job with the strategy to put him in the pack, and he was good enough to take the opportunities.
And now a look at the team standings.
Virtuosi move to the top of
Oh my goodness.
After all this drama, you would be mad not to join us
Mental.
for the next race.
Certifiable.
To see you then.
A risk
Take
to
care.
society. So I'm definitely moving the AI up 10 points. That much is clear. We're moving from 55 to 65 on the difficulty for the next race. Now, if you had said before this evening's stream began that I would win both the sprint and the feature race and have fastest lap in both, I would have said, I don't think that's happening. It's happened. From this was harder, clearly harder to get done from 8th on the grid. But there were a couple of drivers I just sliced through like a hot knife through butter, which made those first few laps easy. Then it was basically a battle for where on the podium I might finish. Turns out from 8th it was first. 27 points from this race alone. Verschoor from 4th finishes 3rd. Aitken stays in that top 3 and held 2nd place for some time before dropping down in the last lap or two. Pourchaire from 3rd drops down to 4th. Dan Ticktum, nightmare day at the office for Dan. Although, you know, the car held itself together this time round, so no retirements. And a few things kind of moving around further down the pack there. Schwartzman from 11th up to 8th. Samaya from 14th up to 9th is pretty good. Enzo Fittipaldi, no wonder they got driver of the day. Look at that. 10 places made from the back of the pack all the way up to 12th. Big question is, where's the teammate? Drugovic from 20th up to 18th. A difficult day for the team there. Just as well I was bringing in as many points as I possibly could, because Drugovic unfortunately not having a good one. That was quite a thrilling race actually, and thank you Churi for the GGs. Speaking of which, let's pay out on that prediction. Where will I finish? The answer was top 3. Beads of sweat mopped off the brow of Churi, who put in 5,000 engagements and does not lose them. So those are back in play for you for another time. Well done, Churi. That belief was well placed. Shall we take a look at the highlights and see how we did? I think that would be swell. Let's go. Eighth place. Again, a slow start. There's a bit of swaying and moving around. I hold the inside line here. Not much going on there. Managed to make a place on exit. I think that was one on the way to the chicane and one on the exit. So that's 8th to 6th. Big old swarming pack here on lap 2. This is me in 5th place. Several cars putting some pressure on behind there. At least I'm making a nice big gap behind, so I don't have to worry about being hunted down. I just have to do the hunting. Bam! On the brakes and through. So on lap 2, that's 4th place already, up 4 places in 2 laps. Moving on to lap 6. I think we're looking at the top 3 at this point, aren't we? So we had Aitken and Verschoor battling up ahead. And that battling helped me close the gap. A little later, through that lap, I managed to make a position. So on lap 6, I was now 2nd. This will be hunting down Aitken. This is the defense that caused me to get a bit nervous. A little bump, went offline, lost time, and then had to make that gap all over again, which I did within a matter of laps, just 2 laps. DRS, get it done on braking. Quite aggressive manoeuvre that, actually, but made it stick. So quite a bit of racing, a bit of battling to do there, some hard work, and a race win. Yes. It was the it was difficult to read what Aitken was doing, and definitely was kind of slowing down a little bit earlier than I was expecting, and right in a tricky part, you know, just like slap bang in the middle of the circuit. And that hesitation, do I go on the inside, do I try the outside, definitely contributed to me going in very deep into turn 1 and losing an opportunity. Thankfully, though, on my own initiative and steam and stuff, I managed to get him back and take the win back. Let's have a look then at how the weekend shakes out. Dan Ticktum, 20 points from the weekend, all told. 4 in qualifying, 6 from round 1, the sprint, and 10 points from the feature race. A good weekend for Theo Pourchaire as well, but I mean, 44 points in one weekend is not bad going, is it? So no points for qualifying, but otherwise a clean sleep. Clean sleep? I'd love a clean sleep. A clean sweep elsewhere. The race win in the sprint and fastest lap, then a race win in the feature race and fastest lap again. Not quite that home run. If it weren't for that error in qualifying, maybe we would be looking at a maximum points haul of 48 points. But as it stands, 44 is pretty massive. A quick look at the race director. I think this is where I get told off for the little bump. Yep, with Aitken on lap 12. Just a warning, no big deal. But gasp you will, because now we look at the standings. And that's not a small gap either. Now you remember at the start of the feature race, I was on 79, and the next driver in the championship was on 78. At the end of round 5, I am now leading the Formula 2 championship by 24 points to Robert Schwartzman. For this weekend, what was I, third? I think third in the championship? Up to first. Big gap there as well, right? Schwartzman and Armstrong, 24 and 26 points behind. That's like a race win gap. Jury Vips, 31. Dan Ticktum had a nice weekend, 38 points behind. And Oscar Piastri, 43 points behind. So I think it would be it's not impossible in the next 2 race weekends for someone further down that top 6 to get in there. But the trick will be not to make an absolute dog's dinner of the next 2 race weekends. A very positive outcome here at Monza, it has to be said. I don't even know where I'm off to next. So it's probably worth checking that out, don't you think? But for Monza, we're done. We can move on. Oh no! I've just remembered. It's a street circuit. It's very fast. It's Saudi Arabia. I have never driven this circuit, so I've got the I've got the disadvantage of not having much experience with it, coupled with the fact that it is a street circuit. Now, street circuits have been an interesting situation for this F2 season. Monaco, unsurprisingly, an unmitigated disaster. Baku, not that bad. So where will this fall? Is this going to teeter towards Monaco and a weekend to forget? Or does it move towards Baku and like, not bad. Maybe not race wins, but decent points. Decent points isn't necessarily a bad thing, is it? If I come away from the weekend at Saudi Arabia with a couple of solid points finishes, maybe not in the top 3, top 6, it might not be that bad. But don't forget, and in fact, we'll do it live. We'll do it live. Here it goes. Where was it? Career settings or... yeah, simulation. Here we go. We'll put this up now. So from 55, we're moving up to 65. That puts us in the lower end of hard difficulty. And I'll make sure that I also, while I'm doing it live, update this on the text command, the chat command as well. That is now saved and in place. So we go from the high end of medium to the low end of hard difficulty for the final 2 races of the F2 season, which, considering the next circuit coming up is one that I've never driven before and is a street circuit, is dicing with death, I think. But there we go. That is how we will leave things in the world of F1 22 for this week. A very positive 5th round to the Formula 2 Championship, and this part of the career mode before we move on into the F1 career mode, of course, which will last many, many weeks. F2 is mercifully short in comparison, with only 7 rounds. Thank you for your company on F1 22 this week. Thank you for the believers who gambled on the most positive outcomes. Whether I was able to deliver on that or not, of course, is another matter, but it is greatly appreciated, all of that support. The next time you'll be able to catch Formula 1 22 is in 2 weeks' time. There is no stream next Sunday. No stream on Sunday the 17th, I'm afraid to say. So the next time there will be a Formula 1 22 stream is Sunday the 14th of August from 6 PM UK time, which will be where we see exactly where the cars will fall. on round 6 of the F2 Championship at Saudi Arabia. It could get pretty dicey. You're just going to have to come and find out. 2 weeks' time, 6 p.m. Please join me then.